In life, we meet many people who greet us warmly, smile at us, and speak words that sound full of kindness. At first glance, it feels comforting. It makes us believe we are surrounded by friends, by people who genuinely care for us. But the reality of this world is very different from what our eyes sometimes see. Not every smile is sincere. Not every friendly word comes from a pure heart. Sometimes the very people who stand closest to us may carry hidden jealousy, resentment, or harmful intentions within their hearts. Islam teaches us an important lesson about human relationships. Kindness should always remain in our character, but wisdom must guide our trust. Many believers suffer not because of their enemies, but because they trusted the wrong people. They opened their hearts too quickly, shared their secrets too freely, and believed every smile was a sign of loyalty. This powerful reminder teaches us how to understand people more wisely, protect our hearts, and place our ultimate trust where it truly belongs, with Allah alone. Not every smile you see is a reflection of a sincere heart. Sometimes a smile is simply a social gesture, a mask people wear to hide what truly lies within them. In this world, many people have mastered the ability to appear kind on the outside while carrying very different feelings inside their hearts. A person may greet you warmly, speak softly to you, laugh with you, and even appear supportive, yet deep down they may not wish the best for you. This is one of the difficult realities of human relationships that many people only realize after experiencing pain or betrayal. A smile is powerful, it creates comfort, and it builds connection, and it makes us feel safe around someone. Because of this, we often assume that someone who smiles at us must care about us. We begin to trust them quickly, we open our hearts to them, and sometimes we even share our personal struggles, dreams, and secrets with them. But Islam teaches us that while kindness should always be part of our character, wisdom must guide our trust. A believer should have a good heart, but also a wise mind. There are people who smile simply because it benefits them. They smile because they want to stay close to you for their own interests. Sometimes they smile because they need something from you. Sometimes they smile because they want to stay informed about your life. Their friendliness becomes a way of gaining access to your personal world. The smile becomes a door through which they quietly observe, learn, and sometimes even wait for the moment when your weakness appears. Human beings are complex. Not everyone who shows kindness outwardly carries the same kindness inside their heart. Some people struggle with jealousy, insecurity, or resentment, and instead of addressing those feelings, they hide them behind polite behavior. On the surface, everything looks peaceful, but internally there may be comparison, competition, or discomfort with the blessings that Allah has given to someone else. This is why many people become shocked when they discover that someone they trusted deeply was not truly sincere. They think about all the conversations they shared, all the laughter they had together, all the moments that seemed genuine. It becomes difficult to understand how someone who appeared so friendly could secretly carry negative feelings. The truth is that appearances can be very convincing. A person may smile while their heart is struggling with envy. They may congratulate you while silently wishing they had what you have. They may stand beside you while quietly hoping that your situation changes. Islam does not teach us to become suspicious of everyone or to treat people harshly. Instead, it teaches balance. A believer should always maintain kindness, respect, and good manners with others, but at the same time, they should not rush to give their full trust to every person who appears friendly. Trust is something that grows over time through consistent actions, honesty, loyalty, and sincerity. Sometimes people reveal their true intentions not through their smiles, but through their reactions to your life. When something good happens to you, watch carefully. A sincere friend feels genuine happiness for you. They celebrate your success without feeling threatened by it. They make dua for you and encourage you. Their support does not change when Allah blesses you, but someone whose smile hides other feelings may react differently. Their words may still sound kind, but something in their tone feels different. Their excitement may not feel real. Their encouragement may slowly turn into subtle criticism or distance. Many believers learn this lesson after trusting someone too quickly. They believe the smile, they believe the friendly words, and they assume the relationship was built on sincerity. Only later do they realize that true friendship is much deeper than a friendly face and polite conversation. A smile can be beautiful, and Islam even teaches us that smiling can be an act of charity. But the wisdom of a believer is understanding that a smile alone does not define a person's intentions. True character is revealed through consistent behavior, loyalty during difficult moments, honesty when it is not convenient, and support when it truly matters. In life, There will always be people who smile at you, greet you warmly, and appear close to you. Some of them will be sincere blessings sent by Allah, people who genuinely care about your well-being and stand by you with honesty and loyalty. But among them, there may also be individuals whose smiles are simply part of a surface-level interaction, hiding emotions that are very different from what their faces show. Jealousy is one of the most dangerous emotions that can live quietly inside the human heart. It does not always appear openly, and often it hides behind smiles, compliments, and friendly conversations. A person may stand beside you, greet you warmly, and speak kindly to you. Yet deep within their heart, they may feel discomfort when they see the blessings that Allah has placed in your life. This is the silent nature of envy. It rarely announces itself clearly, and because of that, many people fail to recognize it until its effects begin to appear. In Islam, envy, known as Hasad, is something that the Quran and the teachings of the Prophet I warn about repeatedly. It is not just a small emotional reaction. It is a feeling that can slowly grow inside the heart if a person does not purify themselves. When someone allows jealousy to remain inside them, it begins to change how they see others. Instead of feeling happy for someone's success, they begin comparing their own life to that person. Instead of appreciating Allah's wisdom in distributing blessings, they begin to feel that someone else has received something they deserved. What makes envy particularly dangerous is that it often exists among people who appear close to us. It may not come from strangers or distant enemies. Sometimes it comes from people who know us well, people who see our lives regularly, people who witness the progress, opportunities, or happiness that Allah places in our path. The more someone observes another person's blessings without strengthening their own gratitude to Allah, the more vulnerable their heart becomes to feelings of jealousy. A person struggling with envy may still behave politely. They may still smile, greet you, and speak kindly in public. They may even congratulate you when something good happens in your life. But internally, their heart may be wrestling with feelings they do not openly admit. When you achieve something meaningful, they might feel a quiet discomfort. When your life improves, they might feel a sense of comparison that disturbs their peace. This internal struggle can slowly influence how they interact with you. Sometimes it appears in subtle ways. It may appear through backhanded compliments, quiet criticism, or a lack of enthusiasm when you share good news. At times it may appear through distance or coldness that slowly develops without clear explanation. The relationship may still look normal on the surface, but the sincerity behind it begins to weaken. One of the reasons envy becomes so harmful is because it shifts a person's focus away from their own journey with Allah. Instead of being grateful for what they have, they become preoccupied with what others have received. Instead of making dua for their own success and improvement, their thoughts become filled with comparison and dissatisfaction. The blessings of others start to feel like personal losses. Even though Allah distributes His favors with perfect wisdom, the believer is taught to protect themselves from this disease of the heart in two ways. The first is by purifying their own heart from jealousy toward others. When we see someone blessed with success, wealth, knowledge, happiness, or recognition, we are encouraged to make dua that Allah continues to bless them and that He grants us goodness as well. This attitude protects the heart from resentment and keeps the believer spiritually healthy. The second protection is understanding that not everyone who appears supportive may truly celebrate your blessings from the depths of their heart. This awareness does not mean becoming harsh or suspicious toward people. Instead, it means maintaining wisdom in relationships and recognizing that human hearts can carry complex emotions. Sometimes people who struggle with envy do not even realize the depth of what they feel. They may not openly wish harm upon someone, but they may still feel uncomfortable when that person's life improves. Over time, if those feelings remain unchecked, they can influence behavior, speech, and intentions in ways that damage relationships. This is why Islam places such strong emphasis on gratitude and humility. When a person constantly remembers that every blessing comes from Allah, it becomes easier to celebrate the success of others without feeling threatened by it. The believer understands that what Allah has written for one person cannot be taken by another, and what Allah has written for them will never be blocked by someone else's success. At the same time, believers are encouraged to remain spiritually aware. Not everyone who appears happy for you is truly free from jealousy. Some people may smile, offer congratulations, and stand beside you in moments of joy while silently wishing their own circumstances were different. The heart of a believer learns to recognize that blessings can sometimes test relationships. revealing which people are genuinely sincere and which people struggle with hidden feelings of envy. Islam places great importance on the people we choose to keep close to us. The friends we surround ourselves with are not just companions for conversation or entertainment. They influence our thinking, our behavior, our priorities, and even our faith. A person may not realize how deeply their environment shapes them until they begin to notice how easily attitudes and habits pass from one heart to another. This is why Islam provides clear guidance about choosing the right companions, because the people who walk beside you in life can either bring you closer to Allah or slowly pull you away from the path without you even realizing it. Human beings naturally seek connection. No one wants to live completely alone, and the need for friendship is part of our nature. We look for people who understand us, who share our moments of joy and difficulty, and who make life feel less heavy. But Islam reminds us that companionship is not simply about comfort, it is also about direction. The people we trust, listen to, and spend time with gradually shape the way we see the world. A sincere friend in Islam is someone who wants good for you, not only in this life, but also in the hereafter. Their concern for you goes beyond temporary happiness or worldly success. They care about your character, your faith, your relationship with Allah, and your long-term well-being. When they see you making a mistake, they do not encourage it or stay silent out of convenience. Instead, they gently remind you, advise you, and help you correct your path. This type of friendship is built on sincerity, honesty, and accountability. A true friend is not someone who agrees with everything you say or supports every decision you make. Sometimes the most valuable friend is the one who respectfully tells you the truth when others choose to remain silent. Their intention is not to embarrass you or control you, but to protect you from harm and guide you toward what is right. Islam also teaches believers to observe people's character over time rather than trusting quickly based on appearances. Someone may be friendly, humorous, and pleasant to be around, but true friendship is revealed through consistency. It is revealed during moments of difficulty, moments when honesty becomes uncomfortable, and moments when loyalty is tested. A sincere companion remains steady through these situations, showing that their relationship with you is based on genuine care rather than convenience. A person who truly values you will not only be present during easy times, they will stand beside you during challenges, offering support and encouragement when life becomes heavy. When others step away during hardship, the sincere friend stays close. Their loyalty does not disappear when circumstances change or when being supportive becomes difficult. Another important quality of a righteous friend is that they remind you of Allah. Their presence encourages good behavior, thoughtful speech, and a stronger connection to faith. When you spend time with them, you feel inspired to improve yourself. Conversations with them do not revolve entirely around gossip, criticism, or worldly distractions. Instead, they bring reminders of gratitude, patience, humility, and trust in Allah. This kind of influence is powerful because human beings often mirror the attitudes of the people around them. When someone spends time with people who are careless about their words, their actions, and their responsibilities, it becomes easier for that carelessness to spread. Slowly, habits that once seemed unacceptable may start to feel normal. On the other hand, when someone spends time with individuals who strive to live with integrity, discipline, and faith, those qualities begin to shape their own behavior. Islam encourages believers to be thoughtful when deciding who deserves their trust and closeness. Not everyone who is friendly or entertaining should automatically be given a place in the inner circle of one's life. Friendship that deeply influences the heart should be reserved for people whose character reflects sincerity, humility, and respect for the guidance of Allah. At the same time, Islam teaches believers to treat everyone with kindness and good manners. Being selective about close friendships does not mean becoming cold, arrogant, or distant from others. It simply means understanding that the people who hold a significant place in your life should be individuals who uplift your character rather than weaken it. Over time, the companions a person chooses begin to shape their identity. Their conversations, their values, and their priorities gradually become reflected in the person who spends time among them. This is why the guidance of Islam places such strong emphasis on surrounding oneself with people who encourage righteousness, sincerity, and accountability. The right friends become a source of strength, wisdom, and protection, helping a believer stay grounded in faith while navigating the challenges of life. One of the greatest challenges in human relationships is learning how to distinguish between a true friend and someone who only appears to be one. In the beginning, many people seem kind, supportive, and trustworthy. They laugh with you, spend time with you, and speak words that make you feel valued. But as time passes, situations begin to reveal what truly exists inside a person's heart. Friendship is not proven by words alone. It is revealed through consistent behavior, loyalty, and sincerity. A true friend carries sincerity in their heart. Their intentions toward you are pure, and their presence in your life is not driven by personal gain or hidden motives. When they spend time with you, it is because they genuinely care about you as a person. They are not calculating what they can benefit from you, nor are they observing your life in order to compete with you. Their connection with you is built on respect, trust, and genuine concern for your well-being. One of the clearest signs of a true friend is how they react to your success. When something good happens in your life, they feel genuine happiness for you. They celebrate your achievements as if they were their own. There is no discomfort in their smile, no hesitation in their congratulations. Their heart feels light and joyful when they see Allah blessing you, because they understand that every blessing in this world comes from the wisdom of Allah. A sincere friend also remains present during difficult moments. Life does not always move smoothly, and everyone faces periods of hardship, disappointment, or confusion. During those moments, some people slowly distance themselves because they are only comfortable when things are easy and enjoyable. But a true friend does not disappear when circumstances become challenging. They stay close, offering support, encouragement, and patience when you need it the most. Another powerful sign of a real friend is honesty. They do not flatter you simply to keep you happy, and they do not encourage you when you are clearly making a harmful decision. Instead, they care enough to speak the truth with kindness and respect. Even when the truth is uncomfortable, they are willing to remind you of what is right because they value your well-being more than temporary approval. On the other hand, someone who is not truly sincere may display very different patterns of behavior. At first, their friendliness may feel convincing. They may compliment you often, laugh with you frequently, and present themselves as supportive companions. But their actions over time may begin to reveal inconsistencies. Their enthusiasm may appear strong in public but weaker in private. Their encouragement may slowly turn into subtle criticism or discouragement. A person who is not a true friend may also struggle to celebrate your progress. When you succeed, they may still offer congratulations, but their reaction may feel forced or distant. Sometimes their words of praise may be followed by comparisons, small negative remarks, or reminders of your past mistakes. These behaviors may appear small at first, but they slowly reveal the presence of discomfort within the relationship. Another difference appears in moments of trust. A sincere friend protects your secrets and respects your privacy. They understand that trust is something sacred, and they would never use your personal struggles as material for gossip or entertainment. Someone who lacks sincerity may do the opposite. Information you shared privately may slowly find its way into other conversations, often presented in ways that damage your reputation or create misunderstandings. Time also reveals the stability of a friendship. True friends remain consistent. Their respect for you does not change based on your status, your success, or what they can gain from you. Whether you are going through a period of achievement or a moment of struggle, their attitude toward you remains steady. Their loyalty does not fluctuate with circumstances. Someone who is not truly sincere may behave differently. Their closeness may increase when they benefit from your presence and decrease when that benefit disappears. Their attention may shift toward others when they see greater opportunities elsewhere. These changes may not always happen suddenly. Sometimes they appear gradually, leaving confusion in their wake. Human relationships are complex, and not every person who fails to meet our expectations is necessarily malicious. Some people simply lack the maturity or sincerity required for deep friendship. But over time, patterns of behavior become clear. Consistency, honesty, loyalty, and genuine happiness for your success are strong signs of a sincere friend, while comparison, hidden criticism, broken trust, and changing loyalty often reveal a friendship that's only superficial. Trust is one of the most valuable things a human being can give to another person. When you trust someone, you allow them into the private areas of your life. You share your thoughts, your struggles, your dreams, and sometimes even your weaknesses. Trust creates closeness, but when it is given without wisdom, it can also expose a person to unnecessary pain. Many people do not suffer because they were kind or sincere. They suffer because they trusted too quickly and too deeply without truly understanding the character of the person in front of them. Human beings naturally want to believe the best about others. When someone speaks kindly, behaves politely, and appears friendly, it feels natural to assume they have good intentions. This desire to see goodness in people is not wrong, but problems begin when kindness replaces wisdom. Blind trust means believing someone's words without observing their actions over time. It means sharing personal matters with someone simply because they appear supportive in the moment. It means assuming loyalty without allowing time to reveal a person's true character. Many people learn the consequences of blind trust after they have already experienced disappointment. They may have shared their secrets with someone who later exposed them. They may have relied on someone who disappeared when things became difficult. They may have believed promises that were never truly meant to be kept. In those moments, the pain often comes not only from what happened, but from the realization that trust was given too easily. Islam encourages believers to maintain a balance between having a good heart and having a wise mind. A believer should treat people with kindness, respect, and fairness. But trust should be built gradually. It should grow through consistent experiences that demonstrate honesty, reliability, and integrity. Trust is not something that should be given away in a single conversation or based on a single impression. When a person places blind trust in others, they sometimes begin to depend on them emotionally in ways that can become unhealthy. They may begin to seek approval, validation, or reassurance from people who are not truly invested in their well-being. When those people eventually fail to meet expectations, the disappointment can feel overwhelming because the emotional reliance had already grown too strong. Another danger of blind trust is that it can make a person vulnerable to manipulation. Some individuals are skilled at presenting themselves in ways that quickly gain the confidence of others. They know how to speak in comforting ways, how to appear understanding, and how to create the illusion of closeness. But their intention may not be genuine friendship or support. Instead, they may be seeking access to information, influence, or opportunities that benefit them personally. When trust is given too quickly, it becomes easier for such individuals to step into someone's life and gather details about their circumstances. They may learn about personal struggles, family matters, financial situations, or emotional vulnerabilities. Once this information is shared, it cannot easily be taken back. If the relationship later proves to be insincere, the person who trusted too quickly may feel exposed and regretful. Islam teaches believers to observe people carefully before allowing them into the deeper parts of their lives. Character is revealed through patterns of behavior over time. Honesty becomes visible through consistent truthfulness. Loyalty becomes visible through dependable actions. And sincerity becomes visible through the way someone behaves when there is nothing to gain. Patience in building trust protects the heart from unnecessary harm. When someone gradually proves themselves through integrity and reliability, trust grows naturally and becomes stronger. But when trust is rushed, the relationship may appear strong on the surface while lacking a stable foundation underneath. Blind trust also sometimes leads people to ignore warning signs. They may notice small behaviors that feel uncomfortable, but they dismiss them because they want to preserve the image they have formed of the other person. They may overlook broken promises, careless words, or moments of dishonesty because they have already invested emotionally in the relationship. Over time, those small warning signs often grow into larger problems. A wise believer understands that kindness does not require complete openness with everyone. It is possible to treat people with warmth, respect, and generosity while still protecting personal boundaries. Not every person needs access to every detail of your life. Not every friendly acquaintance needs to become a trusted confidant. Human relationships become healthier when trust is treated as something valuable rather than something freely distributed. When trust grows slowly and naturally through proven character, it becomes a strong bond that benefits both people. When it is given blindly without careful thought, it can leave a person vulnerable to disappointment, confusion, and emotional harm. One of the greatest forms of wisdom a person can develop in life is learning how to protect their heart and their secrets. Not every thought, struggle, or personal detail needs to be shared with others. Many people believe that openness automatically strengthens relationships, but without careful judgment, sharing too much with the wrong people can create vulnerability and regret. The heart carries emotions, hopes, fears, and private experiences, and when those things are exposed to people who lack sincerity or maturity, the consequences can sometimes be painful. Human beings often feel relief when they talk about their problems. Speaking to someone who listens can make heavy feelings feel lighter. Because of this natural desire to express ourselves, many people begin sharing personal matters with anyone who appears kind or understanding. A person may listen attentively, nod in agreement, and speak in comforting ways, creating the feeling that they are trustworthy. But true trust is not proven in a single conversation. It is revealed over time through loyalty, discretion, and integrity. When someone shares their secrets too easily, they are placing valuable pieces of their life into someone else's hands. Those secrets may include personal struggles, family matters, emotional wounds, financial situations, or future plans. If the person receiving that information is sincere and trustworthy, they will guard it with care and respect. But if that person lacks strong character, the information may slowly become something that spreads through conversations, gossip, or misunderstandings. Many people have experienced the pain of discovering that something they shared privately has reached the ears of others. A conversation that was meant to remain confidential suddenly appears in places it was never meant to go. The feeling of betrayal that follows can be deeply unsettling because it breaks the sense of safety that trust once created. The person begins to realize that they exposed something valuable to someone who did not truly respect its importance. Protecting one's heart does not mean becoming cold, distant, or suspicious of everyone. It simply means recognizing that not every relationship deserves the same level of openness. Some people may be friendly acquaintances, others may be casual companions, and only a few should become deeply trusted confidants. Understanding these different levels of relationship helps protect both emotional well-being and personal dignity. A wise person learns to observe how others handle information before trusting them with something personal. If someone frequently talks about the private matters of others, that behavior reveals an important truth about their character. A person who easily shares the secrets of others may eventually do the same with the secrets entrusted to them. Listening carefully to how someone speaks about others can often reveal whether they value discretion or whether they treat personal information as entertainment. Another part of protecting the heart involves understanding the value of silence. Not every situation requires explanation, and not every curiosity from others requires an answer. Some people ask questions simply because they are curious, not because they are sincerely concerned about your well-being. Answering every question and sharing every detail can slowly expose parts of your life that are better kept private. Silence can be a powerful form of protection. It allows a person to maintain control over their personal experiences and prevents unnecessary exposure to misunderstanding or judgment. A person who speaks less about their personal matters often finds that their life remains more peaceful because fewer people have access to information that could later be misinterpreted or misused. Protecting the heart also means being careful about where emotional dependence is placed. When someone constantly seeks emotional comfort from people who are inconsistent or unreliable, their heart becomes vulnerable to repeated disappointment. Placing too much emotional weight on people who are not prepared to carry it can leave a person feeling neglected or misunderstood. Islam encourages believers to seek ultimate comfort and reliance with Allah while maintaining healthy relationships with others. Human beings can support one another, offer advice, and share kindness, but they are not perfect. People change, circumstances shift, and even well-meaning individuals may sometimes fail to protect what was entrusted to them. Over time, a person who practices wisdom in speech and trust begins to experience a sense of stability in their relationships. Their private life remains protected, their emotions remain balanced, and their interactions with others become guided by careful understanding rather than impulse. The heart remains guarded from unnecessary harm, and the secrets that shape a person's life stay within safe boundaries rather than becoming exposed to those who may not truly value them. One of the most important lessons a believer learns in life is that human beings will sometimes disappoint us, no matter how kind we are, no matter how sincere we try to be, and no matter how carefully we choose the people around us. There will be moments when someone we trusted fails to meet our expectations. A friend may betray our confidence, someone we relied on may walk away when we needed them, or a person we believed in may reveal a side of themselves we never expected. These experiences can leave a person feeling hurt, confused, and emotionally exhausted. When such moments happen, many people begin questioning their own judgment. They wonder how they failed to see the truth earlier. They replay conversations in their minds and try to identify the moment where things changed. The pain does not come only from what happened, but from the realization that the relationship they believed in was not as strong or sincere as they once thought. However, Islam teaches believers that disappointment from people should not destroy their hope or their sense of peace. Human beings are imperfect by nature. They are influenced by emotions, personal struggles, weaknesses, and sometimes selfish desires. Even those with good intentions can make mistakes or fail to support us in the way we expected. Understanding this reality allows a believer to view human relationships with balance rather than placing unrealistic expectations on others. The danger appears when someone begins to rely completely on people for their emotional stability and sense of security. When a person places all their trust, comfort, and hope in human relationships, any disappointment can feel overwhelming. The heart becomes deeply attached to people who themselves are limited and imperfect. When those people change or fail, the emotional impact can feel devastating. This is why Islam constantly reminds believers to direct their ultimate trust and reliance toward Allah. Human beings may support us, advise us, and walk beside us for parts of our journey, but they cannot carry the weight of our hearts in the way that Allah can. Allah sees every struggle that remains hidden from others. He understands every emotion that a person cannot express. He hears every silent prayer and every whispered worry that never reaches another human ear. When a believer turns to Allah after experiencing disappointment from people, something powerful begins to change inside the heart. Instead of becoming bitter or resentful, the person begins to find comfort in the understanding that Allah was always aware of the situation. Nothing that happens in life escapes His knowledge or His wisdom. Every relationship, every encounter, and every experience unfolds within the plan that Allah has written. Sometimes the removal of certain people from our lives is not a punishment but a form of protection. A person who seemed close may slowly drift away, or someone we trusted may reveal behavior that forces us to distance ourselves. At first this may feel painful, but with time it can become clear that the separation protected us from deeper harm that we could not see in the moment. Turning to Allah during these moments strengthens the believer's patience and resilience. Instead of allowing disappointment to close the heart, the believer begins to understand that people are temporary companions while Allah's guidance and support remain constant. This realization creates a sense of inner stability that is not easily shaken by the changing behavior of others. Reliance on Allah also brings clarity to the way believers approach relationships. When the heart is anchored in trust in Allah, people are no longer viewed as the ultimate source of happiness or security. They become companions in life rather than the foundation of emotional stability. This balanced perspective allows a believer to appreciate sincere friendships while also remaining emotionally strong if those relationships change. In moments of loneliness or disappointment, the believer can turn to prayer, reflection, and remembrance of Allah. These acts reconnect the heart to a source of comfort that never fades and never fails. While human support may come and go, the presence of Allah in a believer's life remains constant, offering guidance, patience, and peace even when relationships become difficult or uncertain. As we move through life, we will meet many people. Some will smile at us, speak kindly to us, and appear supportive in our presence. But time and experience teach us that not every smile reflects a sincere heart. Some people enter our lives only for a moment, some stay for a season, and a few become genuine companions who stand beside us with honesty and loyalty. The wisdom of a believer is learning to recognize the difference without allowing bitterness or suspicion to take over the heart. Islam does not teach us to mistrust everyone or to close ourselves off from the world. Instead, it teaches balance. We are encouraged to be kind, respectful, and compassionate toward others while also remaining wise in who we allow into the deeper parts of our lives. A believer understands that trust should grow through actions, consistency, and sincerity, not simply through friendly words or pleasant appearances. Along the journey, some relationships will strengthen us while others will test us. Some people will prove their loyalty during difficult times, while others may slowly reveal intentions that were never truly sincere. These experiences, even the painful ones, carry lessons that shape our understanding and protect our hearts in the future. Most importantly, the believer remembers that human beings will always be imperfect. People may change, disappoint, or fail to meet our expectations, but our ultimate reliance was never meant to rest completely on them. True peace comes when the heart is connected to Allah, trusting His wisdom in every relationship and every experience that unfolds in life. When a believer places their trust in Allah first, the actions of people no longer control their peace. They remain kind but careful, sincere but wise, open-hearted but aware. They appreciate the sincere friends Allah places in their path while protecting their heart from those who only appear supportive on the surface. In the end, the smiles of people may change, friendships may come and go, and circumstances may shift in ways we never expected. But the believer who lives with faith, wisdom, and reliance on Allah walks through these changes with strength and clarity, understanding that every encounter is part of a greater journey guided by the wisdom of Allah.